European Union foreign ministers are meeting in Luxembourg to discuss their response to one of the deadliest Russian attacks on civilians since the war in Ukraine began. The Palm Sunday missile strike on the Ukrainian city of Sumy killed at least 34 people and injured over 100, including many children. Witnesses described heartbreaking scenes of blooded civilians and destruction, with survivors mourning loved ones lost during a sacred time for Christians. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has urged U.S. President Donald Trump to visit Ukraine and see the suffering firsthand. Trump called the attack a terrible, but suggested it may have been a mistake, and placed blame for the broader war on former President Joe Biden. The World Council of Churches has called for those responsible to be held accountable, and Ukraine's Archbishop Visvaldas Kulbokas said faith remains the only refuge as the international community struggles to end the violence. A U.S. judge has ruled immigration officers can operate in houses of worship, rejecting claims by religious groups that the policy violates religious freedom. The judge found no evidence churches are being targeted, noting only a few enforcement actions have occurred near such sites. Amnesty International is urging Egypt to end its crackdown on the Ahmadi religion of peace and light. 4 members were detained in March for peacefully practicing their faith. 3 have since disappeared, and 1 remains incommunicado. Amnesty says Egypt must uphold religious freedom. Cairo has yet to respond. Meanwhile, in Gaza, an Israeli airstrike has forced the closure of the Al-Ahli Arab Hospital in Gaza City. The strike, which Israel claims targeted a Hamas command center within the hospital compound, caused extensive damage to the surgical department and oxygen unit. Though no casualties were reported, surrounding buildings, including a church, were also damaged. Gaza's health officials have called for international protection of medical facilities, while Egypt condemned the attack as a serious breach of international law. In Sudan, nearly 2 years into the conflict between the army and the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, a massive humanitarian crisis continues to unfold. Over 30 million people are in need of assistance. Cities lie in ruins, and more than 12 million people have been displaced. Hunger is widespread, with 8 million in emergency conditions and over 600,000 on the brink of famine. Healthcare is scarce, with cholera, malaria, and dengue fever spreading, and over 60% of the population lacking access to medical services.